the book talks about these four what's called archetypes. What is an archetype? An archetype is a pattern or blueprint that's within our psyche, within our psychology. Doesn't matter what culture, doesn't matter what era you are, doesn't matter. It's always in our human society. So there are four archetypes that as a man, in the fullest of being a man, we have. However, in each of these four, we could be moving in towards like the shadow side of it, all right, okay? So I'm not gonna go through it all, but I want to briefly explain what I learned and how it can help all of us. Because the idea of us being invincible is, my vision of invincible is all of us being in the team, we're the heroes. You go out and you inspire people. Every time you step on the floor, you got eyes looking up at you to what we represent, you know. And we represent making society better. We represent helping people become better. We represent the world becoming better, you know. So that's what we're here for, right? We're not just teaching classes. We represent something bigger. So there are four archetypes. So the first archetype is what we call the king. Now the king. Now initially when you think of the king, it's like, oh, okay, the king is a woman with a crown and they, you know, but it's not. The king archetype it means you're the man of your village, right? You're the man that protects the village. You're the man, and what I mean by village is your village could be your circle of friends, could be your family, could be your class, your community. That's your village, right? We have a massive village here that you guys lead, yeah? So being a man means that you are the king of that village. Now, king doesn't mean you rule it and then you're like the boss or whatever. No, that's not the idea of the king. Because the shadow side of the king, right, and this is where they say things can go bad. Shadow side of the king is when you become like a tyrant. You think, oh, I'm the ego, everyone has to follow me, you know, oh, I'm the best, I have to prove myself all the time. The real king is generative. Generative means you're the type of person who makes everyone better around you. True leaders make more leaders, right? So if you're the true king, you're actually making your community, your family, your group of friends, you're making them better. That's the idea of a king. Does that make sense? And yeah, every time then I'll look at Netflix and I'll watch, you know, I like watching the old Roman Empire documentaries and stuff. And there's always two types of kings you always see in those, right? There's the type of king, the Roman Empire that they always want more for themselves, right? And they boss everyone around. Eventually that empire dies because that king isn't a proper king. Then there's the other type of king who actually makes everyone better through his order. So yeah, the first one is like be the kind of man that makes everyone better around you, right? That's the first one. Second one is the warrior, all right? The warrior is, now I think, give me some ideas. You guys would have some thoughts on what a warrior is. What do you guys think? What a warrior should be? This is an easy one.
Push through any difficulty.
Yeah, push through any difficulty, yes, yeah. So the warrior has a goal and achieves the goal. The shadow of the warrior is like they say something, but it never happens. Does that make sense? A warrior is someone who gets things done and they make it happen. That's the warrior mindset, right? Next one, the magician. Magician's a little bit different. So the magician, the way the book describes it, is the magician is someone who has mastery of a skill. They have excellence in what they do, right? So what that means is the magician is the man in the modern day society who has excellence in what he does. You know, so he's not mediocre in what he does. He's not just average. He strives to be perfect and better at what he does, right? So there's a mastery of skill, okay? The last one's the lover. Now the lover energy or the lover archetype is not someone who's, you know, who's like a player or like a pimp or anything. That's the shadow side. The good lover is someone who sees beauty in everyday life. That's the lover. They see beauty in everyday life. So, you know, they understand that life, nature, the world is beautiful, and they see that beauty in everything they do. They see beauty in every single person they speak to. right? There's no judgment. There's that connection. They connect with everyone. Okay. So these are the 4 archetypes that's prevalent in all of society. So the goal that the book says is that we want to make sure we are always living these 4 archetypes within ourselves, particularly as men. Women too, but this book was written, and where I learned this from, my mentor suggested this book because we're heading into an age where the world is kind of heading, you can feel it. This world is heading into a bit of a bad times. Would you agree? So they say, you guys heard this quote: strong men create good times create weak men create bad times create strong men, and the cycle goes again. You guys heard that before? Yeah? So if you look at history, that cycles roughly about every 80 years. But where we stand and there are small cycles within that, but where we stand in society now, we've had good times relatively for a long time. Like we had World War II in the 40s, and then we came out of that, and then so on. But now we're kind of heading into a bad time again because we've had good times. Is this making sense? So what my mentor said was in bad times, where we're heading towards, more important than ever, we need to have these 4 archetypes within us to take us through. Does this make sense? Take us and our village through. So I just want to put that out there to kind of what we represent. Then I was thinking about it. Who remembers our 4 core values at Invincible HQ? Yes.
Play 110.
All right, I'll write it down. So play 110. Very nice. What's another one?
Look good, feel good.
Look good, feel good. Nice. Kaizen, yeah. And what's the last one?
Genuine care.
Genuine care. Beautiful. Give them a big round of applause. Good work. Core values. These are our core values. This is what everything we stand for. Everything we do stands for these. Now, quiz. I realized these 4 core values, it ties into these 4 archetypes quite well. So, who wants to guess? Who wants to connect them? Which one is play 110?
Warrior.
Yes, correct. It's a warrior. Which one is look good, feel good?
King.
The king?
Love.
Yeah, the lover.
Wouldn't
Good.
genuine
I thought
care?
genuine was
Wouldn't
there
genuine
would be-
care?
Ooh. Yeah. Have a think about it. It's probably easier to eliminate one of them. So what's another obvious one?
Where does Kaizen's magician?
Kaizen's magician, yes.
Genuine care.
And what's the energy of the king?
Caring for others, protect, and that makes more sense.
So which one's the king?
Genuine care.
Genuine care.
Yeah.
Look at Sugar's the lover. The reason why is because the lover sees beauty in everything, So if you're the lover, you show up with charisma, you show up with presentation, you show up with, so yeah. Make sense?
Yeah.
Cool. What's the biggest takeaway from here, and what can you use from here?
Just applying all of these, even outside of HQ or
Yeah.
even while coaching, there's that sense of you're inspiring others and leading your classes. You're making sure that yourself is presentable, but also taking the time out of yourself to care for your students.
Yeah.
And even while you're demonstrating, you show that you
Yes.
have that mastery of
Yes.
the craft.
Yes.
I think it's neat how it ties in. We've had that ever since I can remember, and it just ties in so perfectly.
Yeah. So when you see something that ties in with everything, that's an archetype. That's something universal, and that's something that's powerful. It's universal.